Well, new quarterback, same results. The New York Giants lose 30-7 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Giants have lost 6 games in a row. The Giants have not led in a ball game since the win against the Seattle Seahawks. The team looks like they have quit. Malik Nabers was pouting on the sideline. And to quote Brian Burns from a couple of weeks ago, this team needs to grow up. They have no leadership. And it starts with Joe Schoen. It starts with Brian Daboll. And it also starts with the so-called captains on this team. This football team is not good. But they also have big problems at the leadership positions. But they did get good news today. Look, we knew they were going to lose. We knew the Giants stink. We know that they are a long way away from competing. At this point, we're looking at the NFL draft. And the Giants coming into today owned the number 4 overall pick. And prior to the conclusion of the game of the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Denver Broncos, the New York Giants own the 2nd overall pick. Thank you to the Tennessee Titans for going out and beating the Houston Texans. That puts the Giants in sole ownership of that number 2 overall pick. And even if the Las Vegas Raiders lose today, due to the strength of schedule, the Giants will still own the number 2 overall pick. And they are within striking distance to get that number 1 overall selection. It is them and Jacksonville as well as the Raiders with the only teams left with 2 wins. We've shown this graphic at quite some times, and I continue to say I don't see where the Giants get a win. How are you going to go out and beat the Dallas Cowboys? They just beat the Washington Commanders. Are you going to beat the New Orleans Saints? You're going to get waxed by the Ravens. You're probably going to get waxed by Atlanta. I don't see you beating Indianapolis. And at this point, the only game that looks winnable the remainder of the way is if the Giants get to play the Philadelphia Eagles and they have the NFC East wrapped up and they play the backups. So, yeah, the Giants are well on their way to having either the number 1 or the number 2 overall pick in this draft. If you want the New York Giants to get the number 1 overall pick, hit that thumbs up icon. Go down right now and hit that like button. We're on our way. We are on our way. Tommy DeVito got his first start of the season. And, man, he's just not an NFL quarterback. I said it last year before he got the nod. I said it during his time there. And, look, did anyone actually think the Giants, with the benching of Daniel Jones, were suddenly going to become an explosive offense? We're suddenly going to become a competent football team? No. I did hope that it would look better than it did today on the offensive side of the ball. It really did not. DeVito, 21 completions on 31 attempts, 189 yards. This was the worst the Giants' offensive line had played all year long. Jermaine Illuminor left the game in the first quarter with an injury, did not return. So your tackles in this game were Chris Hubbard as well as Evan Neal. DeVito was hit after every time he took a snap, it seemed like. Didn't have time to throw, didn't have time to make plays. But even if he had time to make throws and make plays, I don't think it was going to make much of a difference. The Giants have a long way to go. And for the people that are going to come on today's video, told you, Marsh, it's not Daniel Jones' fault. Well, it quite literally is his fault. He has the number 2 highest cap hit in the NFL. It's a salary cap sport. The Giants were not able to spend money on primary positions like they wanted to because of Daniel Jones and his contract. He may be off the team, but the ramifications of paying Daniel Jones are still here. And that's why your offense today put up 245 yards, and you threw for 169 yards. You couldn't run the football. You turned it over. Again, Tyrone Tracy fumbles. Man, hold the ball, Tyrone Tracy. It's your job as a running back is to hold on to the football. Not good enough. Giants receivers didn't really do much either. Malik Nabers had 6 catches for 64 yards, did not have a catch in the first half. He was seen pouting on the sideline while the wide receivers with the wide receiver coach were meeting. He was sitting by his lonesome on the bench on a Gatorade bucket. He then was complaining for the ball, and he had 2 drops today. It's only going to show up one in the stat sheet. That was a drop that he had on the sideline that it got knocked away. His body language sucked. He had piss poor comments in the locker room. I get it. You're losing. Everyone's frustrated. I get it. You're a rookie. You're 21 years old. Be a part of the change. Don't be a pouty baby on the sideline talking about you're tired of losing. Do something about it. Do something about it. Be a leader. It's easy to be a leader when you're winning. Real leadership is shown when you're a dog shit team and on a dog shit organization and you're 2-9. If it was easy to be a leader, everyone would be one. Can't just be a leader when it's smooth sailing. What about when it gets choppy? Be a leader. Be a leader. You've been a nobody in the NFL since you went to a Travis Scott concert a week and a half after you had a concussion and you couldn't practice and you couldn't play. If I'm asking too much for a football player, that's one of the highest paid players on this team to be a leader, then I'll say I'm asking for too much. I don't think I am. It's going to be the face of your organization for the next 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, hopefully 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 years. Stop crying about your boy over in Washington. They don't care about you. They just lost. Focus on what matters. Talk more about this game coming up in a second. First, though, I got to give a major shout-out to today's sponsor, DraftKings. Use the promo code NIXCHAT. Bet $5, get $200 instantly in bonus bets. The Emirates NBA Cup is here. You can win big getting in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. All 30 teams split into 6 groups every Tuesday and Friday playing for the right to advance in the single elimination in-season tourney, culminating in the NBA Cup Championship in Vegas. First time, here's something special just for you. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook. Every point counts. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code NIXCHAT. That's code NIXCHAT for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort Kansas, 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/BBALL.
Shout out to DraftKings, our proud sportsbook partner. Smitty same game parlay hit at the last second today. I know, maybe not a lot of you guys tailed it because I had Bucs minus 6.5, but let's be honest, that was a common sense play. Put Bucs 6.5 in there, hits. Tommy DeVito, on that last drive, checking it down to Tyrone Tracy, eclipses 175 passing yards. I think he had 189 on the day. And then Malik Nabers on his last catch got past that 60-yard threshold. You can tell me, you can fade me, but I think it may be smart to tail. Do it with Nick's chat on DraftKings. Get $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5.
Shout out to DraftKings. All the information will be clickable down in the comments and description of today's show. Look, again, nobody expected for the Giants to come out and light the world on fire now that they have Tommy DeVito under center. But I expected a little more life to be shown. I expected a little bit more juice. And like Brian Daboll said, they made this move for a spark. The only thing that was sparked was your defense. They got fucking roasted. 450 yards of total offense for Tampa. 294 yards through the air. Only 6 incompletions on the day for Baker Mayfield. 32 carries for 156 yards, 5 yards, a tote. And they had the ball for 34 minutes of the game. They ran the ball down your throat. They punched you in the mouth, and you did not answer. This team has quit on Brian Daboll. It is very, very apparent. Malik Nabers in the locker room says, I am tired of losing, says it's not the quarterback, and he won't say whose fault it is, but he pretty much is saying it is Brian Daboll's fault. I've tried to make my mind up on if the Giants should keep or if the Giants should fire Brian Daboll. And for the most part of this season, I've said keep him. Let him be the guy that gets to develop and mentor your future quarterback. But if this is what the locker room looks like, if this is the fight this team is going to show, I don't know how Brian Daboll is going to keep his job if the Giants lose the final 7 games of the season. You're on a 6-game losing streak. You've got 6 more to go. If you end the season on a 12-game losing streak, I don't think you can keep Brian Daboll as the head coach. Brian Daboll said they had a good week of practice. Well, it didn't show. Your offense stunk. Your defense stunk. Your offensive line was a joke. Another game, your defensive line did not generate pressure and get a sack. I want Brian Daboll to be a part of this staff. I want Brian Daboll to be the guy that gets to mentor the next quarterback. But if he can't get a team to fight, if he can't get a team to play, you didn't lose this game by 23 because the difference in talent on the roster. There was a team out there that was competing, and there was a team out there going through the motions. There was a team out there that was playing hard for the brother next to them and the coach on top. And there was a team out there that didn't care about the brother next to him in the locker room, and they definitely didn't compete for the head coach. Man. When John Mara said 5 weeks ago that we are not going to fire Brian Daboll, we are not going to make in-season changes, and we don't anticipate making changes outside of the season, I told you guys a lot can happen in 11 weeks. Since then, you've lost 4 ball games. Your quarterback has been benched. He has then been cut, and you just got rocked by 23 by the Tampa Bay Bucs. 6 more weeks. Should the Giants clean house again? Should the Giants clean house again? Type Y for yes. Type N for no. I don't know how you don't at this point. I don't know how you don't at this point. This team has given up. And I think that speaks a lot volumes to the people in charge. Man. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram, @MarshallReed_. Hit me up over there. And let's go Giants.